Sup nerds, it's a sick Baba, also known as Gentleman, and I messed my own intro up. I'm today with Ihasnotomato. Jeez, I'm excited. So, hi.
Hey, how's it going? Me, Ihasnotomato.
And this is the first episode of a series that I want to make called Art Talk, and it's basically going to be some artists talking about some stuff that I pick. So, yeah, let's just get into some questions. The first question I want to ask is, how long have you been drawing for? Like, anything counts, like, even when you were 5 or 3, that counts. How long have you been drawing for? Because I want to make a point in this series.
Yeah, no, really, I've been drawing. This is I'm stealing this line from a friend of mine, but pretty much ever since I picked up a pencil, I've always been a doodler, always been a drawer. Really, ever since I was really super, super young, I'd say, and I never stopped, really. I just kept going.
Oh, yeah.
And just kept going for years and years. So it's kind of weird to think of a time when I haven't.
Yeah, I can feel you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The point I want to make is, like, every artist, like, practices and draws for years. No one gets good, like, at 1 year or something like that.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. And that's the thing. It's a passion, The thing is, I encounter this a lot, and I'm sure you do as well, but you get a person and they come up to you and they say, man, I wish I had your talent. I wish I could draw like you. And you go, well...
You can.
You can. First off, you can, as it comes down to any kind of hobby or career or something like that, whether it be music drawing, it's all about practice and the passion that drives that, right? So the thing is, I have this sort of philosophy that if you really want to be an artist, you already are one. You know what I mean? In that there are so many people that
at some point.
Yeah, no, please do. I feel like there are so many people that they just want to be able to draw really good stuff right now.
They never try to draw because they're bad.
Well, yeah, that's like a whole nother thing. but it's just like they want to just be able to do it immediately. They have no desire to actually take the time to learn and things like that. While if you are really interested in art, that time that it takes to learn and draw every day and get to that point where you're good at art, that doesn't mean anything because it's still art. You're just enjoying it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, people are impatient, especially with skills like art, and when someone comes to me like, I wish I had this natural talent, I cringe so hard, and I actually get really annoyed at sometimes because some people argue that it is a natural talent.
It is not a natural talent, I guarantee you that.
It is years and hours of practice's work, and people don't seem to understand it. So, my second question, if you don't mind.
Well, I just wanted to say on that, just one last thing, sorry. I've always found that the reason people say that is them trying to do a polite way of saying, I have no interest in it, but I want to compliment you. You know what I mean? That's the way I've always interpreted it. It's like, I don't want to dedicate myself to this. I just want to compliment you in a way. So
people actually don't bother to draw and try, but they just want to, I want to say something good to you because you make good stuff. It is really true. So my second question, if you don't mind, how long have you been drawing digitally, like the world of digital art?
That's a good question. Only about a year or two, honestly.
Now that is interesting. Do you know why? Because it's the same time as me.
Oh wow, okay. Throughout most of my life, I had no way of drawing digitally. And I was very, once you've been drawing, with a pencil and paper for so many years, it's very difficult to adapt to.
It is a really, hard transition to make from pen and paper into digital art.
Yeah. And I've tried out, pads and stuff. Like, there was this one that we had in my old school called, like, Bamboo or something.
Oh, yeah, they're horrible, to be honest.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I could never get the whole, looking up by drawing down kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that. I hated it. So for years, what I did, and when I, started making content for the internet and stuff like that, I knew I had to adapt. So what I did was, this is a really convoluted way of drawing. But what I did was I would draw it. I'd draw it by pencil. Then I would ink it.
Yeah,
right?
People do that when they don't have a tablet.
Then I would scan it onto my computer. And I put it in like Photoshop or something, and I would use the inked outlines as a way to like color it in.
Yeah, I see.
It was very roundabout, and it took an incredibly long time to make anything.
I can guess so. That's interestingly enough, that's what artists used to do like all the time, like comic book artists and people like. I can't imagine how many hours of work they put into just making one frame. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, I still have like boxes and boxes of stuff of just these like one page that I'd make. But yeah, so what happened was that I started getting into wanting to make more of my comics and stuff. And I was like, if I want to be an artist, I got to take this more seriously. I was taking it really seriously up until that point, but I'm like, okay, I want a tablet, but I'm gonna make it really good. So what I ended up doing was like last year or the year before, I can't quite remember. For my birthday present, I got one present, and it was like one of those super fancy Wacom.
Oh, I see. Cintiqs.
Yeah. It's got the screen on it, so it's just like as if I'm drawing on paper.
Display tablets. And Wacom is really good on that regard too, because they give the paper texture really well. Sponsored by Wacom.
And now I'm so used to that whenever I go back to pencil and paper, it's a bit weird. It's like, oh. Wow.
Ever since I got my graphic tablet, like I didn't even touch paper and pen. It's been so long since I made a traditional, like, proper drawing.
Yeah, oh yeah, me too. Honestly, I only use it for sketching when I'm not near my tablet, And even then, I'm like, I wanna do this sketch again when I'm at my tablet, so I can save it in a document.
I sketch something in my notebook when I'm at school and stuff like that. And, that would be great as digital art. So I would do that when I go home, and I do that. So it's really interesting.
But that's one of the biggest things, Start drawing on a piece of paper, you make a mistake, you're like, can't press the back button.
Oh yeah, when I'm sketching in school and stuff like that, I always search for a keyboard, like traditional art. Like, where's the Z?
I get an overwhelming sense of disappointment and I just want to abandon this now if I can't just undo it.
I need to use this primitive tool called eraser.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah. But so it's only a very new thing for me, but it's changed my life, and I like, if I was to, I'd probably go back in time and tell myself many things, but if one of the things would be like invest in a tablet as early as possible, definitely.
I'm actually using one of the cheapest Wacom tablets.
I mean, that's, dude, I would have done that. I gotten anything. I really should have, because it's kind of skyrocketed my production.
Oh yeah, it does.
Like I said, it was such a task to make drawings before, and now it's so easy. And I was like, it gave me all these opportunities and stuff. Like, I can record it now. I can.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I can just draw and have it done and not have to go through 6 stages. It's like,
I don't remember the exact time I learned about digital art, but I remember seeing some artwork that was just mind-boggling, and couldn't understand how people did that because I didn't know about digital art at the time. Anyways, I'm gonna get to my third question. Many people, including me, look up to other artists it's just an artist thing. Everyone does that. Yeah. And sometimes it can be really unhealthy for your own mental health. Like, I do that all the time because I have many great artist friends, and seeing their artwork just makes me kind of feel hopeless, if you know what I mean. Have you ever felt that? And if you did, like, what can you, what is the word? Say to people who does feel like that?
Okay. That's a really good question because I do feel like that. And personally, I feel like most people do, if not everyone, you know. Everyone that's, you know, humble to an extent thinks, like, there's always, I mean, first off, they tell you in, like, high school and stuff, there's always going to be someone better, technically. But, you know, there's always going to be someone that you look up to. There's always going to be someone that you're thinking...
Especially with the internet age, it is like, everyone is better than you.
Yeah, well, because it's so easy to access it, you know. But, you know, and I go through that. I still go through that to this day, but it's all about putting it in perspective. So, like I said, the first thing is, no, you're not alone. You know, everyone goes through it. Even, like, the artists that you look up to, and this is a general statement to you. Yeah, of course, definitely. You know, there are so many artists that I follow and I like and I love, and I see them post about some other person that they respect and admire, and I go, oh man.
It is like, just heartwarming when stuff like that happens, because you get to understand that those artists are people too who can get, like, jealous is not the word with, inspired, I guess.
Yeah, well, there's lots of feelings you can get. You can get inspired, you can get a little bit just... I guess, well, I wouldn't say jealous.
Yeah, that is not the word that I'm searching for, but...
That implies spite. It's more of a, like, oh, I wish
Looking up to them, that's the word.
Yeah, you just look up to them and you go, oh, man, I wish I was that skillful. But my number one piece of advice, and, you know, everyone says this, and it's kind of difficult to just be like, oh, yeah, sure, but it's the best thing is basically just, you know, try not to compare yourself to them. You know, many artists, they do different styles and stuff like that. They've been through different things. They've drawn more or less. They've experienced different things. It's really just all you got to focus on is your own artwork. And, like, that's your main focus. If you see an artist that you enjoy and you like their style of artwork and you go, oh, I wish I could draw like that, then take that as a positive and, you know, use that as inspiration, you know? Use them as...
Instead of
a sort of, I want to get to that point. So,
instead of competition, use them as a inspiration. Which is really poetic when you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way I try and do it, where I go, I see an artist that I really like, and they have maybe like a similar, if not more advanced style than mine, and I go, man, I really like that, so maybe I'll go through their work and I'll find pieces that I really enjoy, and I go, okay, what can I take from this? What can I learn from this? What do they do that I don't do? You know, try and form it into a positive, try and form it into something that will benefit you. You know, instead of just, you know, just don't just sit there and be spiteful. Basically,
he's drawing better than me, so I stopped drawing. That is a bad.
Well, like I said, if you want to go through life expecting to be the best, I mean, you should just stop now.
Yeah, you know? You will get disappointed. You'll never be the best.
Yeah, exactly. You'll never be the best. There'll always be someone better, but that's not a bad thing.
But I want to be the best. Like no one there was.
Yeah. But yeah.
I was going to say something, but I totally forgot about it. So my last question.
Yes.
People do over and underestimate their skills by a lot. I see many amazing artists like saying the stuff they make is trash and it's not worth anything. And to an extent, I think I used to be like that, because like when I was first taking commissions, what I literally took for payment was 2 craft hats. Like it's 20 cents or something like that, and I put like hours on each artwork. So I'm a bit here to blame too. But what do you think about that? Because how do we like what's the word? Say the level of artist and an artwork, and how do we prevent over and underestimating ourselves and skills.
Well, unfortunately, I don't know if there's much way to prevent it. Everyone is different. Everyone has their own thoughts and opinions about themselves, and that extends outside of just artwork. You know, that's, you know, any creator will look at their own work and judge themselves. Like, you know, that's an old saying. They say you are your harshest critic. You know? And I think that's true. You know, because
for some people it is not true.
If you're struggling and you don't think your artwork is very good, just post it anyway. That's my first thing, because two things will happen. Well, yeah, number one is that it's very likely that the details that you're picking up on, no one else will. You know,
definitely.
Because like you're the one that spent hours and hours and hours on your piece, and you
see every little detail there.
No one will notice that stuff, believe me. Unless they're specifically looking for it, which 99.9% of people aren't.
And if they do, they're just
even then,
bad.
But if they do, and they're helpful people, then they can give you constructive criticism,
which is the best thing in the world.
which you just got which is great to have, and you can take it in. You go, okay, I can do this better, or I've learned, or I can do that. You know, I find personally when it comes to artwork, online especially, you very, very, very rarely get hate comments. Yeah, because most people respect how long art takes, or at the very least just respect art in general. Other people are artists, they understand the empathize and stuff like that. And if you do, then I mean, like, they're dickheads, and you don't have to pay attention.
Yeah, they just don't care. They just want to make your day bad. That's like all they want. But when I was first starting, I was getting a lot of constructive criticism, which helped me improve greatly. But after a while, it just bloody stopped, because I was better than most of the people that I met, because I don't hang around a lot of artists, you know. And it was the most annoying thing ever, because I want constructive criticism. There's something off with this drawing, but no one is telling me, please, someone. And when someone does give me constructive criticism, I just stick to them like like snail or slug. I just stick to them, and every time I make artwork, I just ask for them. If there's anything I can improve, anything.
Well, that's honestly a healthy thing to be able to take criticism. And I suppose that kind of goes into what the other thing was overconfidence. You got to learn to be able to take criticism as well. You're not. This is the exact same, except the opposite, which is that if you think you're the bee's knees and you're the best artist in the world, you're not. Take yourself a couple steps back. Consider constructive criticism.
We just talked about this. We just talked about this. You can never be the best, and you can always improve. And some people seem to refuse it. Some people think that they improved as much as they can, and there is nothing more to learn, and that is just an unhealthy mindset to be in.
Yeah. I mean, like, everyone is different. Like, I've met some people in my time that I just kind of burned me up to the core in the way that they treat their own artwork. There was one person I knew in high school. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a tangent. But
that's nice.
And it's interesting because in a way it shaped the way I saw my own artwork, because I told myself I don't want to be like that. Where what she would do is she'd draw these magnificent, great pieces like throughout weeks, you know. She'd work on them a lot, and then at the last second she'd say, I don't like this, and she would fucking burn them.
Like, not even throwing at them with a trash can, just burning them to the ground.
Yeah, burning them, erasing them from existence. And if you're that unhappy, I take a personal stance against that. In that,
it is really unhealthy for the mind of the artist.
That's exceedingly unhealthy, because that goes back into that situation where all these flaws and stuff that you're seeing, you're the only one that's seeing them. Never, even if you hate the artwork, don't destroy it. Right? Never destroy it. Maybe you don't want to, you don't have to post it or anything like that, but just don't destroy it. That's just that's way too far. Way too far.
I've been in that mind state for a while, and I kind of dealt with depression for some time, and everything I've drawn I was just deleting, because I was not happy with how the arm looked, or like the line work was not going as well as I wanted, and I was deleting everything I made for like 2 entire weeks, and it was
Yeah.
really stressful for me.
No, it's difficult, you know. And I say like everyone goes through different things, but you know, I don't know. That was just one of the things that made me kind of. I'm gonna like no matter what I think about a piece, I'm just gonna try. You run with it. You run with it. You might not be happy about it, but you did it. You learn from it.
You
move on,
made it
you
deal
know.
with it.
Yeah.
Not even dealing with it, because you made something magnificent. Even if it's not like a great artwork, you made an artwork. That's the important thing, if you ask me.
I think my main problem with it is that you waste your time. You know, and I mean that in the sense that as soon as you spend like, I don't know, 10 hours on a piece of something and then you destroy it, you've lost 10 hours of your life. You can't gain anything from that. What have you done? You know?
We can never like
If you spend 10 hours on it and you at least keep it, maybe in a folder or something, you can at least go back to it. You at least have something to show for it. You know, I don't know. Yeah, that's a kind of a personal thing, I'll admit. Where
I
with
think
that
it's
personal
really
experience.
true and important for like every artist, not just drawing, by the way. Musicians, designers, like drawing artists, painters, and any kind of art. Even like I see video editing and video making as an art form, and for them too.
Yeah.
That is a really important mindset, if you ask me, what you just told.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I am kind of the same with my videos. There's been a couple of videos which I'm not too proud of, but I still, as again, personal way I take it, I still upload them anyway, and I learn from them. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? And at least, like, it's there. It's done. I have something to show for all that time I put into it.
And again, constructive criticism, as always. Internet is a lot better place than what many people think it is. Many people are
Yeah.
great in the internet. A lot better than real life, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Alright.
that was my last question. And thank you so much. Like, I can't tell you enough how much this means to me.
Not a problem, dude. I was really excited for this, I'm going to be honest. I don't do that many
Art
collabs or anything
stuff.
like that, but especially when it comes to art stuff, I'm very keen to talk about it.
I didn't know about your
Well-
art channel for a long while, and when I learned that you had an extra art channel, I'm so bloody excited. I subscribed that same second.
Oh, I appreciate that. I really do. Like most people, they know me as the TF2 guy. But I personally consider myself an artist first and a
Yeah.
YouTuber second. That's
Well-
just the way I. But,
Same,
Yeah.
I guess same here, because my channel only has 200 subscribers right now, so I can't really consider myself as a YouTuber anyways. Well,
yeah.
thank you a lot for coming. Like, I'm sure
Yes, thank
everyone
you for having
knows his channel, but if you don't by any chance, just check his channel out. It'll be in the description, both art channel and normal channel. And so yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you a lot for coming. Goodbye.
See ya.